And remember, we talked earlier, every frequency is hooked up to the one above and the one below. There's no line of demarcation. Now, what does that really mean? That really means that everything in this universe is connected. Everything is connected. You think you are separate from everything. You are not separate. We are all connected. We're connected through vibration. If you're with someone and there's a definite mood shift, you will feel it. If you're with someone, you'll say that the two of you have chemistry. What do you mean by that? You're getting on the same frequencies and you can feel the energy. Feeling is conscious awareness of vibration. You will feel a person's energy shift and you'll say, what's wrong? And they'll say, oh, nothing. You know damn well something's wrong. How do you know it? Well, you feel it. You feel it. What do the actors do? The actors cause you to change your vibration through their acting. Okay? Now, there are our higher faculties. Einstein said the intuitive mind is a sacred gift. The rational mind is a faithful servant. We've created a society that honors the servant and has forgotten the gift. Here's what you might ask yourself. And really ask yourself this, and don't feel bad with what the answer is. Just be aware of what the answer is. If you were asked, could you stand up and talk on perception intelligently for maybe 5 or 10 minutes? Could you talk on memory? Could you talk on imagination? It's one of the greatest powers we've got. Hill, in the Think and Grow Rich, in his studies, he said the imagination is the most marvelous, miraculous, inconceivably powerful force the world's ever known. You're here tomorrow, you, Phil? Yeah. Well, when you see all his hardware, these are awards that he's been given for superior performance in different areas. I keep asking the count, and he's gracious enough to do that and bring it, because when you see it, this is positive proof of what we can do. If he can do it, you can do it, because you're working with the same laws he's working with. What Kim was telling you that she was doing, here's someone that was working in nursing, fairly introverted, had absolutely no knowledge of what we're doing. And in a relatively short period of time, she's earning hundreds of thousands of dollars in a field that was totally foreign to the one she was in. How'd she do that? She just made up her mind that she was going to get locked right into it in a hurry, and she did. Now you see, I maintain, if she can, you can. I am very effective at this because I'm very good at it, because I studied it so much and I used it, and I know from where I came from. If I were to tell you the truth, you probably would have difficulty believing me. But I know if where I came from, if I can win, if I can build a company that operates all over the world, if we're streaming into 100 and some countries, 115 countries, if I can, you can. And I don't care what your background is. I went into Kingston Penitentiary. That's maximum security in Canada. And I cut a deal with the classification. I said, listen, I will come in there and I'll teach these people something about themselves. Their problem is they don't know who they are. And so they keep getting in trouble. I can change that. Now, you guys aren't doing it because the recidivism rate in prison is ridiculous. It's up around 85 or 90%. That means 8 or 9 out of 10 people that go to jail, they get out, they go right back again. I said, this is crazy. Let me come in and I'll teach them some stuff. They said, "You're not gonna, I don't think you want to get in there with those guys." And I said, "What the hell not? Why not? They're no different than me." "Oh, yeah, they're different than you." Well, I said, "You got to let anybody that wants to come, you got to let them come." "Oh, well, we can't do that." I said, "Then I won't come in." Now, I got them to a point where they wanted me to, and then I started to pull away from them. It's what you call a negative close. And so anyway, they had a guy in solitary confinement. He had been there for 7 years. That meant he got out of his cell 1 hour a day for 7 years. He had shot a man in a holdup. The guy didn't die. If they had died, they'd have hung him then, because they were hanging people in Canada then. But he had been in solitary. He was sentenced to 27 years. He was in 7 years. And I said, "No, you got to let him come. You don't want this guy to come." The warden referred to him as a mad dog. And I said, "No, he's actually a good guy. He just doesn't know it yet." So anyway, they let him come. Now, I would go in. I would take coffee, donuts, and cigarettes. Lots of everything. That was the bait, you see. And this guy would sit on a table. There was a table, just like there's tables in the back of the room here. He'd sit there and he'd be swinging his legs. And I never saw anybody eat donuts, smoke cigarettes, and drink coffee all at the same time. He was just like, he was like an animal. And I'd be talking, I'd something about spirit, and he'd go, "Oh, it's about that crap." He was getting all the attention. I wasn't getting any attention. I needed their attention if I was going to teach them anything. I was scared of this guy. He was a big guy. He had nothing to lose, absolutely nothing. And I would go down once a month. I'd go in there. It's 165 miles from Toronto to Kingston. There's no traffic lights. It's just straight highway. And all the way down, I'd be nervous. Like, what the hell am I going to do? Well, one day I went down, and I thought, it was after 3 or 4 months, I thought, if I don't stop this, I might as well stop going. So I built a plan in my mind of what I was going to do. The second this guy caused a problem, I was going to execute my plan. So I went from the front of the room. I just slowly walked back, ignored everybody else, and I stared at him. And I was about that far away from him, and I looked, and he's a big guy. I said, "You gotta be the dumbest bastard I've ever met." I said, "An hour from now, that screw is going to have to open the door, because I'm going to tell him to open the door. I'm going to go out and get in a nice air-conditioned car." Now, I said, "I can earn it faster than you can steal it. And you're not paying attention to me." Well, this guy, his complexion immediately started to change. He tightened up. The blood was running to his head. I thought he was going to kill me. I'm telling you, I was scared. But I didn't stand there as if I wasn't. But I'm sure he would have picked up the energy. And then, as fast as he got tightened up like that, he started to laugh. He thought, "I guess this guy's got to be really nuts." And I turned around and walked back up to the front of the room. He sat there, he was quiet. The next month I came, he was sitting right at the front of the room. If anybody even shuffled their feet, he'd look at them. He was like my cop. He brought order to the group. That guy got out on a special parole. He had to report to the city police in Toronto every week, and the Mounties, that's the federal police, every month. He had been in there for 7 years. His wife had had a little girl who was in there. He and his wife, of course, were long gone. There was a priest in there, Bobby Gaudette, that befriended Joe. He arranged for his wife to come back to him. He got them back together. When I decided I was going to open an office in England, I wanted to take him with me. He was the most valuable guy I had in the company. So I want to go monitor. I mean, there's a lot of power in ignorance. I walked into the parole office and I started to ham the desk. I said, "You've got no right keeping this guy on parole. He's the best man I got and I want to take him to England." They tore up his parole and gave him his passport. Now, why am I telling you this? I'm telling you this because I have seen change that you wouldn't even believe. I've seen people that were that close to death's door. My own sister-in-law. My brother and I went over to the hospital. They had a house full of little kids. And we went over to the hospital. Bev had been really sick. We didn't know what was wrong. As we walked in, the doctor was just getting off the elevator. He was still in his scrubs. He'd been operating. He said, we've taken out 40% of her lung. There's absolutely no chance. It's moving too fast. She had cancer. We went out and sat in the lawn. My brother fainted. We, I guess, got our heads right. We fired the doctor. We don't want a doctor telling you you're going to die. We want somebody who's going to prepare you for life. Now, that was, oh God, it was many years ago. She was just down in Mexico with her whole family celebrating her 80th birthday. Healthy as a horse. I could tell you a million stories. All a little different, but all very much the same. Where there's been phenomenal change. Just extraordinary success. I maybe only have a couple of $100 on me. You could put me on a plane anywhere in the world. I guarantee I'd multiply it right away. Because I know how to earn money. School doesn't teach us how to earn money. Most people never learn how to earn money. That's what Kim's learning, how to earn money. We can teach anybody that. But you've got to provide service. Now he said, the intuitive mind. This is our intuitive mind, these higher faculties. It's a sacred gift, and we don't even understand it. No school teaches us this. We see a person that's intuitive, we say they're psychic, and it's almost like it's a bad thing. Psyche is the Greek word for mind. Of course they're psychic. We're all psychic. If I can walk by you and read your energy, anybody can do it. You see, that's what I have learned. If I can do it, you can do it. I'm no better and no different than you. Now, there's some people think, well, yeah, you're different, Proctor. No, I'm not. The difference maybe is in my awareness, but you can develop that. This is the rational mind's a faithful servant. We've created a society that honors the servant and has forgotten the gift.